Well, very good morning, afternoon, and good evening to everybody on the call, because I can see that today we are spread right across the globe, from the UK, Europe, Australia, New Zealand. We're all here. So my name's David Cole, and I'm just going to do a bit of hosting tonight, and I'll come back at the end of the presentation and assist with answering any questions that people might have. But today's presentation is going to be done by Andy McVeigh. And he's very experienced doing our presentation, but also has a deep understanding of how businesses work, about finance, about economics, and that puts him in a great position to really be able to explain where the value is in this particular opportunity we're looking at. So without any further ado, I'd invite Andy to share his screen and kick off with our presentation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cole, and welcome everybody. It is a pleasure to be presenting to you this evening an opportunity that has really got us incredibly excited on quite a few fronts, which will become very apparent in just a moment. What I'm going to take you through is I'm going to talk to you this evening about the fandom metaverse. What on earth is the fandom metaverse, you may ask? Well, let's break that down into two words. The fandom, the fans of a particular person, team, a fictional series regarded collectively as a community or a subculture. So think about a mass of people that are passionately following a person, a celebrity, a thing, a cultural movement. That is a fandom, a group of passionate fans, and is one of the single largest collective groups on the planet. If we were to go to the metaverse, simply put, is the next incarnation of the internet. It is the web in 3D, or web 3.0. And what it does is it gives us, with all of that technology that we've grown up with, the instantaneous nature of the internet where you can find and do everything. It takes all of that and puts us into a highly immersive virtual world where people gather to socialize, play, and work. Basically, we'll be doing everything in the metaverse in the not too distant future. You put those together, and today I'm going to focus particularly on a massive section of that, which is sports and entertainment, with a world first that is in launch mode. I'll come to that in a moment. So, introducing SuperOne. SuperOne, their mission is simple, is to empower billions, with a B, of sports and entertainment fans around the world to play, earn, connect, and share their passion. We are talking about a very advanced but simple downloadable trivia game to any smart device on the planet. That is what the customer receives. And I'll go into that in some more detail. However, what I want you to keep in mind is what sits behind this enormous industry. This amazing technology is an amazing business that we can participate in. But first, we need to understand the market and the game. So the players get to drop into a new world to explore a trivia metaverse with a plethora of the world's most popular fandoms. And this is where it gets exciting. How big is the various fandom groups around the world? Well, SuperOne are very cleverly hitching their wagon to the world's single largest sporting event that is about to kick off in Qatar, which is the Association Round Ball Football Code of World Cup. So with that, the launch focus is the single biggest sporting market on the planet. World game for a reason. 3 billion dedicated fans globally. But then we put that aside and we look at other global sports that are enormous. NBA, American Basketball League, 2 billion. NFL or gridiron to our Southern Hemisphere is 500 million. MMA, mixed martial arts or octagon fighting. Relative newcomer has already amassed over 500 million dedicated sports fans. Put sports aside and let's look at the other trivia categories that will participate on this platform with fandoms. And it is literally limitless. Music, over 500 million. Movies, nearly 1.5 billion. Fashion, nearly 500 million. Media, a whopping 4.2 billion. Think about all the celebrities that are followed with passion and intent from billions of people around the planet, the likes of the Oprah Winfreys of this world. Enormous. they are all passionate fans following, and we've got the platform for them. So we launched towards a 600 million strong fan base. And how we do that is through a major media distribution deal that is leading into the Football World Cup in Qatar, which kicks off at the end of November. So where do these 600 million fans come from, you may ask? Well, through this football partnership agreement signed. They are a major media and content distributor that have partnered with SuperOne, and they allow us to then launch into 10 of the most significant sports football crazy platforms and countries in the world, those ones in front of you. This platform attracts 1 billion views monthly of their content, 1 billion, and 500 million of those people are mobile gamers, which is really good because we're launching a mobile trivia game in the promotion, and the launch commences in just shy of half a month, 15th of November this year. So we're in launch phase. So this is simply put the game. It is a series of pictures that are overlaid with questions, and it is a technology and a methodology that the globe has become quite used to. You simply swipe up for a pass, down for a freeze, double tap if you want to swap it out because you don't like that question. But most importantly, it's a simple swipe, left for no, right for yes for the answers. So the game is based around 3 main categories: easy, medium, and hard. And the difficult questions will just keep getting more and more difficult until we find the last fan standing. So the way that they are rolling it out very cleverly through the coming month leading up to the World Cup is a global launch with a free game. The company is putting forward real cash where people can enter the game for free and battle their passion, their trivia platform, and for real monetary prizes. But then we get really serious. There is a strategic reason why they're doing that, to amass a big database. I'll come to that in a moment. Then we launch into advertising. Advertisers are all over this space. They really want a part of it. It is targeted advertising directly into the palm of people's hands. And you think about that, that opens up enormous revenue opportunities that we can all participate in. Again, I'll come to that in a moment. And then the game switches into a paid version as well. And all that does is creates a far greater prize pool, because a percentage of those entry fees go into the prize pool where people can win serious amounts of cash. So the game is called Battle Royale, and the free version is set to commence in Q4 this year. We're in Q4 now. So it is there to create a large player base fast by giving away prizes. Everyone loves prizes. Then we've got the Battle Royale real version that kicks off, the paid version, in the first quarter of next year. And that will create excitement beyond anything imaginable, with far greater prizes, higher prize pools, because there are now entry fees involved. So simply put, this is how the game works. You have 10 seconds to answer a question. The first 10 are easy, next 10 medium, and then the remainder of the questions are difficult, hard, and get harder and harder until we find the last fan standing. You might be familiar with strategic game assets that have been used in a really successful trivia model called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And the reason why that was so successful is it allowed ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results, because they could balance what they knew with strategic assets, such as phone a friend, those sorts of things. This has those too: freeze, swap, pass, lives. So the Battle Royale free version, it's all about volume and rotation. So the new game will commence every 5 minutes. That's 12 every hour, 288 every day. There is a total of $35 US in withdrawable cash prizes in every game. That's 10,000 US available per day in the promotional launch phase. That will attract millions of players all over the world, with the first place winning 20, second place winning 10, third place winning $5. Think about this. The vast majority of the planet that are passionate about particularly football may come from the lower socioeconomic areas of the planet. So these types of numbers could potentially be life-changing for themselves and their families. They know the most, they're going to play, they're going to celebrate their passion. So broken down into three main pillars, we've got fame. It hits the leaderboard. People love to win. They love bragging rights. And that hall of fame, a lot of people strive towards that. But really, it's about the fortune of serious dollars being earned by celebrating and displaying, utilizing your knowledge and passion around this game. We then have the friendship. Everyone is accustomed and familiar with that online engagement through a social media content. This has that too, where these big fan bases can congregate in one spot and create friendships, contacts, invite people to play, create their own games. Those sorts of things are all possible on this platform. Enormous. We then have the paid version. We get serious. Again, a new game every 5 minutes, 12 every hour, 288 every day. But we now have the entry fee at $1 per game. And the prize pool is 20%, 10%, 5%, respectively, to the top 3 players. Attractive prize game with fast pace and frequent winnings. Again, it's that volume rotation. So have a stab at this. 10,000 players pay $1 in entry fees. The winner gets 2,000, second 1,000, third 500. And that is a small volume from what the predictions are. Very clever. So how much is the gaming industry worth? I'm a newcomer to it. I wasn't aware until we had analyzed the business case around this opportunity. And again, you need to think in the billions. So these are some stats for you. 270 billion was spent last year in game mobile purchases. Then we have 50 billion of that was spent in the crypto gaming market. Now, one thing that we really like about this is what the customer receives and how the customer engages the player. They don't need to know anything about crypto. They simply download it from the App Store, participate as they would any other game. However, what the platform and the technology that all this sits on is all the blockchain, crypto, tokenization technology. So everything happens in real time. So when that crypto gaming industry continues to develop, they are very well placed to take a big slice of that. 700 billion was spent in the total gaming market last year. That's the value of it. Enormous. This is a big one for us, and I'll come into this in a moment as to why. But 400 billion was the dollar figure of mobile gaming advertising last year alone. So what we know through, again, tried and tested models, statistics in the industry, 90% of players will not pay to play a game. They want to participate and have a real crack at the box of chocolates, but they won't pay. So what the platform does is gives them an opportunity to simply opt in and watch an ad. The advertiser displays an ad quickly. They accumulate enough credits to participate in that game. Therefore, the advertiser is paying for the players to play the game. Another massive source of revenue, just like our friend here. You'd probably agree, brands like that, not shabby. So the launch market, 30 million players, is representing, this is their target, represents 1% of all football fans on the planet. That is 3 million payers at $1 a day. The gross revenue will therefore, the total amount coming in for that day will be 3 million US. We then have net revenue, which is after all of your expenses and distributions. Net revenue of 50% is 1.5 million a day, ready to pay the market. And those names that you see on your left-hand side, they're already on board and a part of the launch phase. Manchester, Real Madrid, FC Barcelona, and Liverpool Football Club. The heavyweights of the global scene are on board. So how do we, the creators, get paid? First of all, creators, let me define that. It is a term that has been coined very much in the digital space, that digital blockchain online space. Creators are the ones that add value. They add content by participating and creating consensus. That is a creator. And for us, with doing that, we basically get paid. The first part, and how it's a fully tokenized business model is Super. Super is our principal currency and main utility token. Utility means it does stuff. It is responsible via all that blockchain sophistication, moves the value and transports and creates the value on the platform. It's got a real job, and therefore it creates value. We get to participate in that. I'll come to that in a moment. We've then got the cards. Remember, I said this was a simple trivia game. A picture appears and a question is overlaid relevant to that subject and the difficulty level. That NFT forms the base mechanics of how this game works. And we can acquire those NFTs as part of the digital assets. And when they are used, we share in the revenue. Again, I'll come to that in a moment. So when people play games, owners of the NFT cards receive income from the cards used in the game. We've then got a really innovative use of an NFT, which is called a space. I've never seen this before, but basically this is what engages and links the advertisers into this platform. It is a blank NFT and is there for advertisers through contract to put their advertisements onto those NFTs. And again, when that advertisement is shown, the pool owners of those NFT space cards share in a portion of the advertising revenue. Very, very lucrative. So when people play for free, we receive income. So with 3 million payers, that's $500,000 in yearly payout available. With 6 million payers, that's $1 billion in yearly payout available. Staggering numbers. So now, how do you get a part of all of this value, you may be asking? Let's have a look at that. It is enabled via what we call premium loot boxes that include the game features, the NFT card spaces, and the bonuses. And they start from as little as $10 US to get a slice of the business action. Then you go into bronze, $100 US, 500 US for silver. Gold is 1,000, and it is circled because we believe that is absolutely the sweet spot. I'll come to that in a moment. And then we've got platinum, 10,000, and the top of the tree, diamond. And there has been an absolute rush for the platinum and diamonds, believe it or not, over the last few weeks, because people are recognizing the value that comes with those. So we've gone through just how enormous and profitable the market is. We've gone through simply what the customer will receive and why they'll come onto the platform. Let's have a look at the business. So with these loot boxes is the entryway into the business. And what you are doing is acquiring digital assets that do two things. They either, one of or both. They either are an asset that will increase in value, or they're an asset that produces revenue. Most of them are assets that do both. So the first thing that comes is you might not be a gamer. I'm not. You might not want to participate. You don't have to. But if you choose to participate, part of the loot boxes brings those strategic game assets into your loot box. So you get those regardless. So you can absolutely, without any conflict, have a crack at the prizes. You've already acquired those freezers, passes, those lives, those sorts of things. However, the real serious business comes in the assets that are in those loot boxes, and they start from the entry level. The super token, remember I mentioned that the utility token, that is one of the main value propositions. It is a utility token. It is the main token. It will be listed. The plans are in place and it's moving forward to that. At the moment, it's just already doubled in value in recent days. I'll come to that through the Q&A. However, the super token, 50 in the entry, 500 in the bronze, 2,500 in the silver, 5,000 in the gold. Platinum receives 57,500 and diamond a whopping 325,000 tokens. Plus, there are still some special tokens left called pool tokens. And simply put, they're a token that attracts far more revenue. They're very valuable and were made available for the early adopters to help really get this rocking and rolling. So, as I said, the loot boxes are a combination of digital assets for passive income. Passive income is really highly sought after by many, many people on the planet because it is a complement to what else they have with very little effort to achieve that. So, but for those that actively promote the business, which is what myself and my good friends and colleagues have chosen to do, there are 3 bonuses where you could earn up to 30% for direct referrals of loot box purchases, plus additional very lucrative team bonuses if you wish to share this particular one, including when players come on and acquire digital assets. And again, you need to think in the millions. It is quite an incredible opportunity. How is the money split? So this is something that myself and my colleagues went into in great detail. Theory is all fine. What do the numbers look like? 3 million payers at $1 a day means a net revenue is 50% of that, 1.5 million a day. The net revenue of 1.5 million per day is available for daily distribution through the business and ourselves. So that is broken down into 5 main areas. The staking. Staking is simply putting a digital asset on the platform, it being used, creating revenue. The revenue comes off that is the staking revenue. So the super token attracts that, the pool tokens, and of course, the NFT cards. We've then got the creators. For the people that are choosing to support and help spread the word about this business, they are rewarded significantly. So 20% of that goes into those rewards. We then have the 20% that are available to the stars. Without stars and celebrities, folks, we simply don't have fandom. So they are a big part of this. They come on board. It is another way for them to monetize their very, very large fan bases. And there are many that are already on board through their management agencies and so on. So they get to share in that revenue as well. Very lucrative. Then 20% goes on the platform, enormous technology costs, operation and licensing fees. They don't shy away from it. You see exactly where that's going. And then we've got the visionaries, the owners that absolutely deserve a payback and return on their investment and their hard work. So that is clearly put there as well. But what we like is they're very transparent. When there's no stars or publishers, management agencies involved, then the stars don't get if they don't get the stars bonus, then that comes to us, the creators. So if we were to put that out into a yearly figure, so we're now talking about 500 million per year. Again, 20% of that, that's 100 million per year in each of these categories. And why is that important? Well, when things really get going, how does this value the super token? Because many people are interested in the super token. It is a genuine utility token. It has value. It is going to be listed on the secondary market, meaning the market will determine what it's worth, and something is worth what it produces. So if we've got 100 million available in a yearly bonus through the super token and pool, what that means is when there is a circulating supply of 500 million tokens, each one of those tokens will generate 10 US cents per token. So you do the numbers on those figures that I was talking about before in terms of the super token values. But the value of that, a very common way of valuing an asset such as shares and the like, is what we call a price to earnings ratio. Very common, and it's widely accepted in terms of this industry. If everything does in terms of the numbers that I've just explained, the value of those super tokens, which you are acquiring now for a nominal value of 20 cents, reach $5 US, available to be traded on the open market in the coming months. That is a significant value uplift, I'm sure you'd agree. Those pool tokens generate, each token when fully seeded, meaning after they've fully grown and have matured, each one of those pool tokens is generating $62.5 US per year per token. So quite lucrative indeed. And that's just part of the digital assets. So these are the genius minds that are behind all of this. Andreas Christensen, Norwegian by origin, resides in Norway, and it is his brainchild. Gaming, crypto, blockchain, coding. He lives and breathes this stuff and has been working on this for a very, very long time. And we've had the pleasure of listening to him and speaking with him on several occasions in us making our decision to get involved in this particular opportunity. And one of our colleagues actually got to spend near enough a whole day with Andreas just recently in Norway. And yeah, to say that he was quite chuffed is an understatement. Very forthcoming with information, very, very transparent. His business partner, Stian Alex, also Scandinavian by origin, and he has made his fame and fortune in the traditional gambling and casino industry. Now, what is important to understand is SuperOne is not gambling. It is a game of skill, not a game of chance. You either know the answer or you don't. And that's really important. However, what Alex brings to the table is that industry knowledge on what it takes to enthrall and captivate people, to bring them in and keep them enthralled, engaged, and captivated through the experience you are delivering. And that, used in a very ethical manner, is a real strategic advantage. We've then got Stian Andre, another major important business partner. He's more of Dave and I's ilk, economics, stocks, corporate finance. He's a numbers guy. He puts the numbers and the deals together. And we've spent most of our time speaking with Andre just to really assess the business case for this particular opportunity. Very, very forthcoming with his time. An interesting chap, Wada, Japanese investor, but also has opened up an enormous market for SuperOne. The Japanese market. Have a go at this for a statistic. Tokyo City, population of approximately 20 million people, spend $1 million of every hour of every day in-game mobile purchases. That is just one city in Japan alone. Think about entire Japan. Think about through Asia. Enormous. That is what WADA has brought to the table. So this is the brains trust that get the job done. So we've got the tech team. Their core competencies are really best of breed, and they possess the complete command to really integrate all of these technologies, some of which you may see familiar with there, to really get it all meshed together and working together. All of those really innovative technologies. They are the labs, or the work is spread across 3 major locations on the planet. We've got HQ, Business HQ in Tonsberg, Norway. We've then got Jakarta in Indonesia, which is very much a distribution marketing hub, with the full support of a contract signed with the Indonesian Football Federation for launch through their clubs and their members. Massive football fans in Indonesia. And then we've got the tech team, blockchain, app integration, predominantly based in New Delhi. So this innovative business model and bespoke blockchain platform create a profitable and disruptive offering. I like disruptive. Whenever you have an established industry that is attracting huge dollars, and then you bring together a disruptive offering, the opportunity for value is significant. So what we like, they've been totally transparent with everything we've asked of them and everything we've asked in terms of doing our own due diligence. We also like that income is simply paid to you when people play games and watch advertising on the mobile phone. Really simple revenue model. And this one was quite a clincher of quite a few weeks ago, where KPMG, one of the big 4 auditing and accounting firms on the planet, were contracted by SuperOne to perform full monthly audits on the entire business. So think capital structure, processes, game code, all those sorts of things, to make sure that what they are purporting is actually happening. What is unique, although SuperOne is a private company, they've chosen to make the results public, the summary of those results, which is unheard of. So proceeds are paid directly into your external wallet if you connect one, via use of the blockchain technology instantly. Your funds are not retained by SuperOne at all, which again is quite unique. It comes straight off platform into your own sovereign wallet. You are in control of that. This is a copy of the engagement letter by SuperOne. There has been subsequent letters that have been released, made available by SuperOne. So the bespoke business platform, in simple terms, by incorporating that latest blockchain tokenization in terms of the platform, what it means is everyone that participates in this business, from investors to players to the business partners, the creators, the fans, everything happens in real time. It is instant. How instant? Try 0.2 seconds instant to validate the security and make things happen. That is the way of the business future, and that is the benefit of positioning everything on advanced blockchain systems. So I've spoken about how enormous the market is. I've spoken about what the people receive and how lucrative it can be to get involved. Are you ready to have a look? Let's have a look. Indeed, great things have small beginnings, and we do see greatness in this, but you be the judge. So if I've piqued your interest, you want to find out more, or you just want to dive in and have a look, then please get back to the person who was kind enough and thought highly enough of you to invite you onto this presentation, because ultimately it is your future. Opportunity, folks, waits for nobody. It comes and it goes. You be the judge whether you want to get involved or not. Completely your decision. I thank you very much for your time.